Welcome back to another week in the shop. We are starting off with some branding irons here, and I have a question. Should I make a fixture for all of these branding irons, or should I get like 3 or 4 3-inch vices and then have them like all lined up in a row on the table? I think that might be the way to go for this instance, just because each branding iron is a different size, and a vice would probably be good, and then have a different work coordinate system for each individual vice, so I don't have to locate it every single time I just hit go. Aside from some branding irons that I did this week, I also did these RX-7 emblems. And I've done these before. I don't think I've showed them on YouTube yet, but here they are. I do 3 of them at a time, and it takes like an hour and 20, hour and a half to do 3, just because I go through and basically engrave everything, all the internal pockets, so I can paint them later. And I think I ended up making like 10 to 12 of these. I can't remember. And while I did some post-processing of these emblems, I started running another branding iron. And here's something cool. A guy wanted a YouTube play button like the one I made for my 1,000 subscriber, but he wanted it nickel plated, so I had to nickel plate it for him. But I just sold him the one that I had already made. I didn't make another one just because I don't really need it anymore. I hadn't done any engraving for a long time, but this guy came in, and this is a little emblem badge for an urn, I guess. So I ended up using this diamond engraving tool, drag tool from Tormach, and I hadn't used it for a really long time, but it really turned out good. A little thin piece of stainless steel, and just engraved it with that drag tool. With my bigger size branding irons, I had to get a more powerful electric branding iron, and this is just an adapter for that branding iron, and just something simple, 5/8 round, and slide it right into the branding iron, and there you go. And another guy came in and he wanted a shifter extension or shifter handle that he could put a bike grip on, and this thing is about 8 inches long in total, and it's by far the longest stick out I've ever had in this lathe. You can see it kind of deflect there just a little bit. This is 1 3/8 stock, but it really didn't do too bad with the deflection, and there was not many critical dimensions here because it's just a shifter handle, so it didn't do too bad. Here it is right off the lathe, and really with all that deflection, the finish is still really good. And then I have to pocket out this inside, the bigger part of it, and I just have this 5C collet block here, and slip it right on there, and pocketed everything out and threaded it. And to really finish it and get all like the crappy marks that the collet block left, I put the tap in the drill and just spun the part with the tap and the drill, and sanded it that way. It worked out really good. And now I just want to re-emphasize that question that I had at the beginning. Should I get like 3 or 4 3-inch vices to put on the table to machine like 3 or 4 brands at one time? That means I have a lot less tool changes. Like in this case, I'm doing 2 at a time, but I can only fit 2 on the vise at one time. And I would like to put more than that eventually. So now to what this video is all about. This here is actually a mechanical puzzle, and you've seen me machine this in the past weeks, and it really serves no purpose other than you open up the whole thing, and that's really what it's all about. I got into mechanical puzzles a while back, and just watching people open them and see how people machine them, it really caught my curiosity, and I wanted to try and design and make some. So that's what I'm doing here. I left a link in the video description to other machined mechanical puzzles that other people have done. I mean, these things range from like $20 to $250 to $2,000, depending on who made them and how much of a collector's item that they actually are. So, in the coming weeks, months, I might have these available. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about selling them, or even if I do sell them. I have a few more designs ready to go, but this is the only one that I've prototyped and made a working prototype for so far. And so far, it's working okay. So, I think that's it for now, so thanks for watching.